After that night, something changed inside me. I stopped crying. I stopped hiding. I told myself, Anita, enough. You didn't steal love, you earned it. And now it's time to rise. I started dressing better. I walked with my head high. I smiled more. Mr. Raymond noticed. He held my hands one evening and said, "You're glowing." I smiled. It's time to stop acting like the maid. We started planning the wedding. He wanted something small and peaceful. I agreed. But Madame Juliet had other plans. She went to court and tried to stop the divorce. She lied that I was pregnant before the marriage ended, that I seduced him, that I was using charm. Her lawyer sent a letter filled with wicked lies. I cried when I read it. "I can't do this again," I said to Mr. Raymond. But he held me. "We're not stopping. Let her fight. We will fight too, with truth and peace." The court gave them a date. On that day, I followed Mr. Raymond to the court. I dressed simply, no makeup, no gold, just the truth on my face. Madam came with drama, shouting, crying, screaming, saying I ruined her life. But when the judge asked Mr. Raymond one question, "Do you still love your wife?" he said calmly, "No, I respect her as the mother of my children. But love, it died a long time ago." Then the judge turned to me. "Did you force yourself into this man's life?" I looked up with tears in my eyes. "No, Ma, I was only the maid, but he saw me, he respected me. He treated me like a human being." Silence filled the room. The court gave the final approval. The divorce was complete. As we walked out of the courtroom, Madam looked at me and said with poison in her voice, "You may have the man, but you'll never have peace." I looked at her, this time without fear, and I replied, "I'm not here to fight you, Madam, but I will not let you destroy me again. I've survived worse." She walked away, shaking with anger, but I stood strong. That day, I didn't feel like a maid anymore. I felt like a woman, like a wife, like a boss. The wedding day came. It was a small, quiet ceremony. No noise, no crowd, just love, peace, and a few real people. I wore a simple white gown. No necklace, no earrings, just a clean face and a calm heart. As I stood in front of the mirror, I touched my own reflection and whispered, "From a housemaid to a bride, God, you do wonders." Mr. Raymond wore a white native attire. His smile was deep and full of joy. When I walked into the small hall, he couldn't take his eyes off me. Tears filled his eyes. "Oh, you look beautiful, Anita," he said. "You look peaceful, sir," I replied, smiling. The pastor asked us to hold hands. As he spoke, I kept remembering everything. Fausti Makamasis Senkarasam Chumbakyota, sleeping on the floor. Madame's slaps. The insults. The day I fainted from hunger. The night he said, "You give me peace." And now, he was giving me his name. We exchanged vows. He said, "I don't care where you came from. What matters is where we're going together." I said, "You saw me when I was invisible, and you made me believe in love again." Everyone clapped. Even the children were there, Junior and Bella. They were quiet, confused, but watching. After the wedding, we entered a car and drove back to the same house where I once served. The same gate, the same walls, the same compound. But this time, I didn't enter from the back. I walked through the front door. I didn't carry a mop. I carried a small purse. I didn't kneel with fear. I walked in with grace. The cook greeted me. The cleaner greeted me. Even the gateman, Uncle Monday, said, "Madam Anita, welcome." Those words shook my soul. Madam Anita, not Anita the maid, not that village girl. Madam Anita, the wife, the boss. I sat on the same chair Madame Juliet used to sit on. I looked around. The house was quiet. Then I looked at Mr. Raymond, and he said softly, "Welcome home." The first morning after the wedding, I woke up in a real bed. Soft mattress, clean bed sheet. No broom beside me, no dirty bucket in the corner. I looked around and smiled. This was not a dream. Mr. Raymond was still asleep beside me, peaceful. I got up, tied my wrapper, and went to the kitchen. Not to cook or clean like before, but to say good morning to the cook and ask if anyone needed anything. The staff looked at me differently now, respectfully. "Good morning, Madam Anita." I wasn't used to it. I still smiled like the girl who once washed toilet with bare hands. Later that day, Mr. Raymond and I sat in the living room. Junior and Bella were also there. They looked at me, unsure what to call me. I smiled at them. "You don't have to be afraid of me," I said gently. I'm not here to take your mother's place. I'm just here to love you and take care of this home." Bella whispered, "Are you going to beat us?" I laughed softly. "No, Bella, I'm not the shouting type." Junior looked at me and asked, "Why did Daddy marry you?" Mr. Raymond smiled and answered, "Because she's kind, because she has a good heart, and because she gave me the peace I lost." That answer touched me deeply. From that day, the children began to change, slowly, carefully, but surely. They started greeting me with smiles. They even began asking me for help with homework. The house became quieter, cleaner, brighter, not just because of furniture or paint, but because love now lived in the rooms. There were no more slaps, no more shouting, no more fear, only peace. Even the neighbors changed. Some still gossiped, but others came to greet me and say, "Congratulations, you've done well." I still sent money to my mother in the village every month. I bought her a new roof. I even promised to build her a small shop. And one evening, as I sat outside with a cup of tea, I looked at the sky and whispered, "God, thank you. You picked a maid and made her a boss." It was a Sunday afternoon. I had just returned from church with Mr. Raymond and the children. The house was quiet, full of peace. I sat by the window holding my Bible, smiling gently. Then the gate bell rang. The guard opened the gate. And to my surprise, Madame Juliet walked in. She looked tired, older, not the same woman who once shouted and dressed like a queen. She stood there staring at me. I stood too, calm, strong, not afraid. "Good afternoon, madam," I said softly. She swallowed and nodded slowly. I came to talk," she said. Mr. Raymond appeared behind me. His face changed, but I touched his hand gently and said, "Let me speak with her alone." He nodded and went inside. Madame Juliet sat opposite me. For a long time we didn't talk. Then she said, "I hated you. I blamed you for everything, but now I see clearly. I pushed him away. I destroyed my own home." I said nothing. She continued, "I thought you were a snake, but I've asked around. Everyone says the same thing. You are humble, kind, quiet, and respectful. You never spoke badly of me, even after I slapped you and threw you out." I looked at her, and for the first time I didn't see a proud woman. I saw a broken one. She sighed. "I came to say I'm sorry." I felt my eyes sting with tears, but I held them back. "Thank you, madam," I said. "I forgave you a long time ago." She looked shocked. "Why?" "Because holding pain in my heart would only make me bitter. And I don't want to be bitter, I want to be free." She nodded slowly. "May God bless your marriage," she said. "Take care of the children." And with that, she stood up and walked out. I watched her go, and I felt something deep in my soul. Peace. I went back inside, where Mr. Raymond held me gently. "You're amazing," he said. "No," I smiled. "I'm just a girl who refused to stay broken." We sat down, the children joined us, we laughed, we ate. And for the first time in my whole life, I felt full of love, full of peace, full of purpose. Not as a maid, not as a mistake, but as a woman, a wife, a mother, and a boss. From a housemaid to the woman of the house, her pain became her power. Her story proves no one stays at the bottom forever. Follow for more emotional stories. Precious Inspired TV, real stories, real feelings.